Yes, here we go. Another edition of the Raineri Show brought to you by WagerTalk.com, uwager.eu, and of course, Miami Acura. Welcome in, you beautiful sons of bitches, here on this gorgeous Wednesday. And we got a lot going on here for you today. We got all sorts of people for you to meet. We've got some old friends. We've got some new friends. We're excited here on the show. We want to say hello and good afternoon to those lunatics that are joining us in the chat rooms here today across every streaming platform known to mankind. That's where we're coming to you from. Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I probably missed one here or there, but they're already starting to steal corporate time. We want to say good afternoon to Mr. Count Dracula over there on Twitch, who just mails it in right around this time of day. He's always tuning in to us, streaming us live from his cubicle, steals as much corporate time as he possibly can, and we appreciate him every minute that he spends with us. We thank him. Let's see who else we got. Dan joining us. Doug is in there. I can't pronounce that name. Is it Naffy? Naffy is joining us in there. Matt is joining us. Johnny, Fitz, all you guys across all the platforms there. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so very much for making us a part of your day. And, of course, your support. We appreciate. You guys have no idea how much we appreciate it. So if you like what you're seeing, if you love joining us here on the show, we ask that you show us some love. Go ahead, subscribe, like, retweet, do all of those good things. It's streaming, folks. That's how it works. That's how they measure us. You know, the algorithms, it all works. Like the more that you interact with us and the more that you like us and the more you subscribe and tell your friends about us, the more popular we get. It's a brutal process, but it's the one that we've got to work with. So we welcome you if you are just joining us for the first time here to the Joe Raineri Show. We got plenty going on. We're going to introduce you to a new member of the family, and we told you guys we pride ourselves here on the Joe Raineri Show of bringing you only the best handicappers on the web. And anybody that has spent any time trying to locate or trying to do some research on the web, maybe find a service, something, maybe you're new to sports betting and you've been looking for, you know, somebody that you can rely upon, somebody that you can trust. And then, of course, you start looking on Twitter and you start seeing just a sea of shit and you don't know which way to go because, quite honestly, there is so much crap, so much garbage that you have to try and navigate through in order to be able to get to the real pros, the guys and the services and the companies that you can really trust, guys that have been doing it forever, guys that you can honestly say they are not going to hide behind Twitter names. They're not going to hide behind websites. They actually do exist, and they're more interested in making you money than anything else. Those guys you'll be able to meet here on this show. I can promise you, if they are on this show, these are the kinds of guys that you are absolutely going to be able to trust, not only with your investment, but certainly with your sports picks. Guys like Jason from SportsPick365.com. He's going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. Two fire college basketball plays that he is all over. In fact, he's going to one of those games tonight, so I'm sure he's got a lot to say about these plays. Can't wait for you guys to meet him. Love these guys at SportsPick365.com. Some of the best that you will find out there. And then, of course, bottom of the hour, the oldie but the goodie, the captain. Nobody does MAC action better than the captain. Nobody covers MAC football. This guy is like a savant. I don't know what he is. He's like a MAC savant, but he's going to join us bottom of the hour. You've got two college MAC action games going on tonight. You got Ohio, Miami of Ohio, Buffalo, NIU, all sorts of great action going on here tonight. So you'll hear from the captain bottom of the hour. He's got a real strong play in one of those games that he is going to want to share with you. Not to mention, we've got some breaking news across the NFL landscape. It appears in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room things are not going well in Le'Veon Bell's locker area there. And I see He-Sill77 is joining us, who happens to love the Steelers, diehard Steeler fan. And good afternoon to you, my friend. I don't know what in the hell is happening to the Steelers. They're winning football games. Le'Veon Bell has not reported, ends up forfeiting the $14.5 million he had coming to him this year in the franchise tag. He is making a stand, people. He is trying to make the running back position in the NFL a little bit better for the next generation of running backs. He wants to get paid, and he wants owners to, pony up and stop taking advantage of these guys. And let's face it, the owners, they've pretty much taken advantage of the running back position for as long as we know. And Le'Veon Bell's going, screw you. Pay me the money. I want to set the example for the next wave of guys, for the, even the guys that are the Melvin Gordons of the world, the Todd Gurleys of the world, all on rookie contracts right now. But there's going to come a time where these workhorses are going to expect to be paid. And Le'Veon Bell is trying to set the example and go, listen, you got to pay guys like us, man. I mean, pay us our money. It's bad enough we got to look at these NBA guys. We got sixth men on NBA benches that play 13 minutes a month, and they're making more guaranteed money than we are. And here we are touching the ball 300-400 times a year. We're getting our brains bashed in, and we can't seem to get any sort of long-term guaranteed contracts. And that's what Le'Veon Bell is standing up for. He's doing it not only for himself, but he's doing it for the future of the position, the running back position in the NFL. Want to say shout out to Mr. Skunt joining us once again, stealing that corporate time, I see, sir. It's a pleasure to see you. Please tell me how the Redskins are in first from Heath. I have no idea. You know how they're in first? Because the NFC is hot garbage. In fact, we've got a live look right now from the NFC East. Let's go there. There you go. That's what you got going on in the NFC East right now. That's what your division looks like. That is why the Redskins are in first place in the NFC East. Need I say any more? Ridiculous. Welcome to the Sports Pick 365 family. They are joining us across the platforms. I see Twitter, also Periscope. Welcome in, guys. If you're new to the show, thank you so very much for stopping by and hanging out with us. We are loaded with a lot of fun information for you here today. The Maction captain. Nobody knows MAC football better than this guy. He's going to be joining us bottom of the hour, but we're getting ready to bring on Jason from SportsPick365.com. This guy is a pro, loves himself some college basketball. He is on his way to a game tonight, one of the two fire plays that he has in college basketball for you. We're going to talk to him in just a minute. Of course, you guys know the routine. I got to thank our sponsors here on the show first. Send them a little love. Miami Acura, for instance. They've got the all-new 2019 RDX at a price you've never seen before. In fact, they're telling me to tell you, get your asses over to South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay, for those of you in the 305. If you are in the market for a new car this holiday season, or even a certified pre-owned car, there are no better deals happening right now than they are at Miami Acura. So if you know who Pitbull is, then you know where South Dixie Highway and Miami Acura is. Head over there. Take it for a test drive. The all-new 2019 RDX. Completely redesigned. The damn thing, it's like driving in your living room. It drives itself. All you have to do is get there and check out the deals. Outside of the 305, simply call them at 855-564-4660. What the hell number am I looking at? 855-564-4669, or visit them at miamiacura.com. Don't go anywhere don't make any decision when it comes to purchasing either a new or used vehicle before you go see the fine folks over at Miami Acura. That's miamiacura.com. You've got the captain coming your way, bottom of this hour, a little Mac action. But first, well, guys, welcome in. Happy Wednesday to you. We are very excited here today because the newest member, newest capping group here on the Joe Raineri Show joins us via the Miami Acura hotline. I want to introduce you to Jason from SportsPick365.com. Now, you guys know we pride ourselves with bringing only the best of the best on the show here for you, so you don't have to try and navigate through that ridiculous jungle that is Twitter and social media with everyone telling you they're the greatest in the world. These guys are the real deal, and we thank Jason for taking a couple of minutes out and joining us here on the show. So, Jason, thank you very much for coming on, my friend.
Joe, thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it. On behalf of the Sports Pick 365 Nation, we just appreciate you bringing legitimacy to the game, man. Thanks a lot.
No, we appreciate having you. I know you got two fire games that you're all over here tonight. We're going to get to those in just a minute. But first, I want to kind of get I want you to introduce yourself to the viewers, to the listeners who might not know who you are. I mean, talk to us. How did it start? You know, what do you guys do? If somebody goes to sportspick365.com, what can they expect?
So what you can expect with SportsPick365.com is transparency, legitimacy, and, just a really detail-oriented process, right? We have capped every single pick that we have made since February, since our company has started. It was brought together by 3 individuals, myself, Ed and Eric, who are the other 2 cappers that have brought this whole thing together. We cap over 7 sports right now, and to show a winning record over 7 sports is extremely difficult for one and humbling for 2, because when you cap every single pick for that amount of time, there's going to be times where you're going to pull your hair out and say, gosh, I don't know if we can do this thing. And then there's times where you want to take that jet over to Vegas and start riding it high. Am I right?
Uh-oh. Amen to that, my friend. Amen to that. In fact, on the screen right now, we're putting up some of the graphics that you can find at sportspick365.com. You talked about transparency. You talked about, all the different sports that you guys cap. And we've got your profit trend here. And we also had the VIP picks. You're talking Major League Baseball, soccer, NBA, NHL, NFL, NCAA football, NCAA basketball. That's not an easy thing to do in any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, absolutely not. And like I said, and if you really go into the detail of the graphics, I mean, as you can see, soccer is definitely the meat and potatoes, just because of the fact that it's played year-round for the most part, right? I mean, there may be occasional layoff here and there, but that's where, a lot of the picks have ended up coming from, is just because it originally started as just a soccer capping business. But then as our soccer capper Ed realized, hey, I needed to bring on some more experts. I needed to bring on, some people that know a little bit more about, the NBA, NHL, NFL, and really take this thing off. And by doing that, it's been extremely successful, not only for us, but our VIP clients.
Yeah, now explain to the folks who are going to go to sportspick365.com, Jason, the process itself of being able to get signed up with you guys. How easy is it? Is it as simple as just going to the website and looking at the different kinds of packages? What is it that you guys offer for folks?
Yeah, yes, it absolutely is extremely easy. Again, go over to sportspick365.com. Immediately you will see a link to go to a VIP page where we discuss our packages. And our packages are $10 for a daily package, $20 for a weekly package, and $50 for a monthly. And you may say right off the get, well, how come it's so expensive for just one day? Well, again, we're not made to win for just one day, right? And any capper can go out here and have one successful day, go extremely solid. Or on the reverse end of the spectrum, one capper can have a horrible day, right? We don't base that off of anything, and we're not breaking your bankroll with our membership package. We will always push the monthly package. $50 for a month we feel like is extremely affordable for anybody that, wants to be in the sports betting business. And it is a business. It's something that we treat extremely seriously.
And we talk about it all the time. Jason joining us from sportspick365.com. He is part of the group, one of the new capping groups here on the Joe Raineri Show. Guys that we trust dearly, guys that will do the right thing by you. And Jason, a lot of the questions that we get from people, first-timers or people trying to dabble into sports betting and sports gambling, sometimes they're intimidated or they're afraid to ask questions. How much access do people have to you guys in order to be able to say, hey, guys, I'm not sure if I'm betting too much or if I'm not betting enough? Talk to us a little bit about how accessible you guys as cappers are, and if people have questions, they can get answers from you.
So, again, having three minds in our capping game is extremely valuable, not only from the standpoint of a picking standpoint, but also from a bankroll management standpoint. We are extremely accessible. We have, all three of us have the information to our Twitter. All of us have the information to our email, to where if you had any questions about any of these, and there have been plenty of times that our VIPs do reach out to us and just say, hey, I wanted to know why you picked this game. What did you think about it? Sometimes we do detailed write-ups. Other times, we just don't necessarily have the time. I mean, let's be honest, we're three guys who also work 9 to 5 jobs, during the day. So it's not the end-all, be-all, but we try to make it as big of a priority as we can, because we know that people out there have invested into us, and we want to make sure that the return on investment is substantial.
Yes, no, that's exactly it. And it's very simple. It's a great website. It's an easy follow. It's very clean. Some of the websites that you guys go to, it gets so convoluted, and then you get intimidated, and you go, already my eyes are killing me just looking at it. You won't have that. Sportspick365.com. When you guys, as soon as we're done here, guys, go there, check it out. I'm telling you, it's very professional, very well done, and the guys behind it are here for you. It's all about making you the winner in the long run. And like Jason said, if you're not in this for the long run, then chances are just go to the blackjack table, or go play lotto, and you got a better chance of actually being successful there. But these guys do the legwork, so you don't have to, and that's really what the service is all about, Jason.
Absolutely, Joe.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about a couple of these games today, because I know you guys are all hopped up. You are in the Indianapolis area, so there's a very interesting game tonight going to be taking place at Assembly Hall. So we'll get to that game, but let's start with the rematch, shall we? Because it certainly does feel like a rematch. We've got Michigan taking on Villanova, 6:30 at the Finneran Pavilion. This is just 7 months after the 79-62 loss to the Wildcats in last year's national title game. So talk to us a little bit about this game. 8th-ranked Villanova taking on number 18 Michigan. We're only a week into the season, but doesn't this kind of feel like it certainly feels like a rematch to me?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, well, for starters, it's a nationally televised game, right? So it's on Fox Sports 1. It's got all the makings of a big fight feel. Am I right? No. I mean, early in the year, 2 ranked teams. Obviously you brought up the revenge game factor, right? And how much that's going to play into this. Given the fact that Nova had some guys leave. Michigan is definitely one of those programs that grows from within, and there's a lot of returning players that are still on that Michigan team too. So how much is that going to play into a factor? We'll see tonight.
Now, this is, to me, I don't think Michigan is, or rather Villanova, I don't think Villanova is as good as they were last year. They got some changes going on, but I also don't think Michigan's as good of a three-pointing shooting team as they were last year. So kind of walk us through here. Michigan, Villanova, are we looking at maybe a high-scoring game, or are we looking at a game that maybe the nerves are going to take in? Maybe we're looking at the under. Talk to us a little bit about how you think the game plays out here.
So for starters, when we try to cap games, and specifically me, I can attest to this, is I'm always asking questions, and I ask these 5 questions every time that I'm going to cap a game. I ask who, what, when, where, and why. And the biggest factor being is on the why, right? So when that first line drops from Vegas, why is that line at what it's at, right? You should have already had, if you were doing, and this goes out for any sports capper, and the good ones know this, you should have already had a preset line in your mind before this game dropped, right? Our analysts, the ones that, Ed, Eric, and myself, we had talked about this for a while, and we had considered that this game was going to be Nova anywhere from 6 to 9, -6 to -9, anywhere in there. And sure enough, late last night, it ends up dropping with Villanova -7. So that's right where we thought it was going to be, and that's a good testament to obviously us as cappers, but also, Vegas doing their homework. Now, both teams have taken steps back in terms of having guys graduate, but don't sleep on this Villanova team. Their pace is extremely high. Jay Wright is a fantastic coach and always has a loaded offense. They have 6 guys who average 9 or better on their lineup. It's one of the things that makes Villanova so difficult to guard is the fact that their pace is usually always going to get them into the 80s or 90s. And it's going to depend on whether or not Michigan can match that with their hard-nosed defense, and ultimately if they can just keep up with the scoring firepower that Villanova has to offer.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a great point, because it'll be interesting to watch how Michigan's offense responds when Villanova puts those quick scoring spurts together that they are known for. Can they match the Wildcats in that, being Michigan? Can they do that, or are they going to end up, which people in the NBA know of this with the Golden State Warriors, are they going to be trading 2s for 3s? And that's really where it's going to come down to. So -7 here, Villanova laying -7. Do you got a feeling one way or the other on this game?
We absolutely do. We're leaning towards Villanova -7. Again, you kind of take into factor, what Vegas accounts for when they put spreads together. Home court in college basketball, and I don't know if anybody knows this or not, can be anywhere from 2 points to 6 points. And Villanova -7 off the drop, instantly Vegas is telling you, right, that Villanova is a better team, right? It's not one of those things that, really debatable from their aspect is, Vegas is valuing Villanova extremely high. We do as well. We just feel like I said, with that offense and their high scoring ability and their pace of play, that it's just going to be too much for Michigan to handle in the beginning. Now, that's not to knock Michigan at all, because we still feel like Michigan always gets right at the right time, right? So they always get good around the times of, your Big Ten tournament and, the NCAA tournament. That's when they start playing their best basketball. But, Jay Wright, we feel like at home, going to have those boys ready to rock and roll.
Yep, so it's just a matter of can you match those quick scoring spurts that Villanova is bound to go through? Can Michigan match them? You like Villanova -7 in this game, and if you're just joining us, welcome in. Jason from SportsPick365.com. They are the newest group here, part of the Joe Raineri Show family. You got to head over there, SportsPick365.com. You got 3 cappers there that make up this group. They are some of the best in the game that cover every sport, including soccer. For you soccer fans, they have a lot of experience in that arena. Definitely somebody that you want to check out. And of course, affordability is always something that you need to look at anytime you're looking for a service, and these guys are one of the most affordable out there. SportsPick365.com. Now let's talk about the other game here, Jason, something that's very near and dear to you. If you don't know, or for those that don't know, what are the Gavitt games? We we've got Indiana, we've got Marquette tonight taking the stage, I think, 8:30 from Assembly Hall. That place is going to be rocking. But what are the Gavitt games, and how does that work there in Indy?
Well, so, I mean, obviously we have a little bit of a bias, but at the same time, we also have a very good in tune with this team, right? The Indiana Hoosiers have one of the best recruiting classes this year coming in, right? Preseason, they came in with 5 of the top 150 recruits. And that is extremely important for Archie Miller, ended up turning around this program. Now, on the other side of things, we're looking at Marquette, right? Marquette's ranked 24th. Marquette can score. They can shoot the ball. They definitely can. ESPN BPI ended up having them around 4 in, how much they actually value. Now, Vegas says differently. Now, to us, Vegas is the end-all, be-all, right? Your analysts from ESPN, Fox Sports or CBS Sports or any of these guys are going to tell you one thing that they feel, but we all know at the end of the day, I mean, it's Vegas. Vegas is the end-all, be-all of this, right? So the line dropped last night at IU minus 5.5, okay? And that goes back to that home court thing that I was kind of touching on college basketball, where it's anywhere from 2 to 6 points. So instantly you got to ask yourself, why is Marquette, the preseason 24th ranked team, going to IU and they're a dog at almost 6 points? Why do you do that?
Why exactly? Exactly. Why is that? I mean, Vegas sometimes you scratch your head when they come out with lines, but ultimately, when you look at it at the end of the year, you go, wow, they've been spot on more times than they've been way off. But, you've got to look at Vegas, and especially this early on in the season, and scratch your head and go, there's got to be a reason. Back to one of the questions that you always ask before capping, Jason, is going, why? Why?
Okay, so our staff, why? And we kind of had this conversation between everything, and, we're trying to drop the line before it comes in our heads. And I was actually the one that was closest to this. I had them at 3.5 to 4. Our other guys, Ed and Eric thought that, hey, this game could be close to a pick 'em because we don't know how much Vegas is actually going to value the fact that Marquette is the 24th ranked. It doesn't seem to faze them in this, and the reason being is because if you've ever been to Assembly Hall, that place is, I mean, it is a very quaint environment. It kind of feels like that old auditorium that you used to go to when you used to watch movies as a kid, because when the acoustics in that place, when it gets rocking, it is loud, man. And the backdrop, when you shoot there, is a little bit closer than it would be at any of these other, bigger college stadiums. It's a hard place to play. Marquette has not played there since 2001. So they do not have the experience of being in that gymnasium at that time. We value the Hoosiers here. We're going to buy the hook, and we're going to get it to -5. We're taking the Indiana Hoosiers -5.
-5, and I think it's a valid point that you brought up. Neither one of these two teams has been tested thus far. A couple of games in, I think Indiana, right, has won, I think, by an average of 47 points the first couple of games that they have. Marquette has played absolutely nobody. So this is one of those games early on in the season, Jason, where we are going to get a very good feel for both of these teams. We know Indiana likes to consider themselves kind of like a dark horse. They kind of got a chip on their shoulder. Nobody pays attention to us, but they have an opportunity to tell the world here tonight that, we are here. We're the real deal. Keep an eye on us this year.
Well, and hey, and if you're a part of Hoosier Nation, you know that Indiana takes pride in their basketball. And I can tell you what, there is a ton of buzz around this team in the early going. Us as cappers feel like Indiana can make a lot of noise this year in the Big Ten. Now, obviously, they got to come out and do it, but with this recruiting class and Romeo Langford and some, good experience with DeJuan Morgan, we really feel like this is a big-time team that's going to make some noise this year.
Well, we're going to make some noise here as well. So there you have it. He's got Indiana. You're going to buy the hook -5 tonight over Marquette. And, of course, in the earlier game, Michigan-Villanova, if you're just joining us, you like laying the 7 against Michigan. Take Villanova tonight. Probably just too much firepower in that lineup, and Michigan is probably going to end up doing what a lot of people end up doing against this team, and that's exchanging 2s for 3s. So go with Villanova -7, and also take Indiana by the hook -5. Those are your 2 fire plays from Jason at sportspick365.com. Is that about right, man?
Hey, man, absolutely. So I'm actually working on a write-up for both of these games right now, too. And if you go to sportspick365.com, you'll be able to see some of our past blogs where we have written about 3 plays that have happened where we will drop it on our website so that everybody can get in on it. I believe it was 2 weeks ago we dropped a fire NFL teaser play where Chicago to Buffalo, we went 7-point teaser, had Chicago Bears -3, and we had the over at, I believe it was 30, and that game was locked up by half.
Love
you
it.
Watched that game. The Bears absolutely came out for fire, and it was everything that we could have hoped for, and our VIPs definitely cast on that.
Well, it's so simple to become a VIP. SportsPick365.com, affordable package, great knowledge. Stop by, go to the website there, guys. Check it out. Jason, Ed, and Eric, they are there for you. It's all about consistency. It's all about transparency. And like we showed you before, you can go to the website and you'll be able to see how they have done, not just in football, but the NBA, soccer, Major League Baseball, college football, college basketball. It is all there for you. And the mark of a real professional and a group that you guys want to do business with is their transparency. And it is there for you to see. So do yourself a favor. Head over to sportspick365.com. Get Jason, Eric, and Ed working for you today. Jason, I thank you so very much for stopping by here. It's going to be a hell of a night at Assembly Hall. So good luck to you. Enjoy the game, and I look forward to doing this again in the future, my friend.
Absolutely, Joe. Thank you so much for having us on. I'm going to be in attendance myself at Assembly Hall just to get a bird's eye view of everything. But we really wanted to thank you again for having us on, and I can't wait to be back again.
Not a problem. We appreciate it. SportsPick365.com. That's SportsPick365.com. Get there today. Jason, be safe tonight. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, take care, brother.
All right, make sure you guys head over to sportspick365.com. These are his picks here tonight. This is what he likes. Michigan, Villanova. Lay the points, taking Villanova -7. Marquette, Indiana. He is going to be at that game. Good old Jason. He's going to be there. If you got to buy it up, and I'm not sure where we are at this point, but if you got to buy it down. -5. Indiana, the Hoosiers tonight is definitely the play, is where he is looking at it. So great stuff from Jason. Can't thank him enough. SportsPick365.com, guys. Do yourself a favor and check them out. These are some of the good guys among a sea of shit, for lack of a better term, that is out there. These are guys that are straight up, that you can honestly trust, and that is why they are on this show. But if you're looking to take a little action tonight, these are the guys to do it with. SportsPick365.com. Take Villanova -7, Indiana -5 against Marquette. It is a loaded schedule tonight, including college football. We got some MAC action, not one, but 2 MAC action games on a Wednesday night. And can you believe it? We are excited for MAC action football. What in the world is wrong with us? You want to talk about a sure sign of maybe we should seek some help? The minute that we start looking and get excited for MAC action football on a Wednesday night, we probably all need help, but we don't care. We're going to bring in the man who knows MAC action football better than anybody in the world. He is the captain. That is what we know him around here, at Captain_capping. He also happens to be a guy that is on an unbelievable tear. 22-4 just a couple of weeks ago. He's already 4-0 to start this week. The man is a monster right now, and he is on a tear. At Captain_capping. He is going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to talk about those games tonight. But first, we got to thank a few more of our sponsors that make all of this possible. Of course, Low Cost Airlines, 800-761-1427. Why low-cost airlines? Well, there's a good chance somebody or a few of you may be heading out over this holiday season. Maybe you're looking to get as cheap an airfare as possible. Maybe you really don't like the relatives that you have to go see. You don't want to spend an awful lot of money having to go see them, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Low-cost airlines, definitely the folks you want to go see. 800-761-1427. And maybe you're looking to take a cruise and say, you know what? Screw it. I hate my entire family. I really don't want to hang out with them during the holidays anyway. I'm going on a cruise. Screw y'all. Well, if that's the case, Superior Cruise and Travel, definitely the people you want to go see. 800-901-5536. That is how you reach them. Nobody's got better deals on cruises. And as long as you're in here in the South Florida area, if you're going to be leaving and heading out of the port of Fort Lauderdale or Miami, hit me up and we'll go, we'll catch a few brewskis, we'll get a couple of scotches, a few Cuban cigars, we'll hang out, we'll go play 9, then you can go on your cruise. Superior Cruise and Travel, 800-901-564-4669. I have no idea what number I just read there. Let me do that again. 800-901-5536. I can read. I'm sorry. It's Wednesday. It's been a long day. I really got to stop eating edibles before I do this show. And, of course, Miami Acura, 855-564-4669. Do not under any circumstances, go get yourself a new car or a used car without first checking Miami Acura. MiamiAcura.com. The captain joins us coming up in exactly 120 seconds. Don't go anywhere, including you lunatics in the chat rooms. I'm not done with you yet. We got Mac Action football picks coming your way. It's the Joe Raineri Show. We'll be back 120 seconds.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. That's 800-293-0328.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia.
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. That's 800-761-1427.
Get ready to talk sports. It's the Say It With Me podcast. Now here's your host, Joe Raineri.
Guys, we're always excited here on a Wednesday because we get to talk to the captain. That is right, the captain of all captains on another streak already this week at Captain_capping. We know him as Mr. Mac Action around these parts. He joins us via the Miami Acura hotline. And the captain, it is, let's talk about it, man. It's Wednesday. That means we got Mac football, and we got two very interesting games on the slate tonight. So let's start first and foremost. Buffalo at Ohio. Buffalo is looking to clinch the MAC East tonight, but Ohio is the one standing in its way, and they do have an outside shot of actually pulling out the division here. So let's start with this game. Talk to us about what you like, what you hate.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on, Joe. I always like to start off with that, man. Another good start to the week, 4-0 with a couple hoops plays. The Giants coming through for us. I know we talked about that one on Monday night. What a wacky comeback. Anytime we've got the ball in Eli's hands with 2 minutes to go, I don't like our chances. But, man, we pulled that one out. But, yeah, rolling pretty good in some MAC football. But, man, we got a couple quirky lines tonight, a couple wild games. Like you said here, Buffalo – Ohio, the line opened here, Buffalo -2, swung all the way to Ohio 2.5, Buffalo, +3 at certain spots. Weird game. I mean, Buffalo's 8-2 against the spread this year. They're hammering people, 6-0 against the spread in conference, not just winning in conference, but covering in conference, right? Good teams win, great teams cover. I mean, that's just how we go. They're 5-0 against the spread in the last 5. I mean, one of the best teams here. I mean, you go look at Ohio. Ohio's 4-1 their last 5. They're 7-1 against the spread at home. I can kind of see where the points are a little bit. I look more to where this line opened at Buffalo -2. I think you look public money. I was actually listening to one of the guys in Vegas talk this morning, saying 78% of public money is on Buffalo.
It's on the Bobcats, yeah.
But the Sharps are hammering the Bobcats. So it's kind of where to go in this one. I think the biggest matchup to me and where I see an advantage, okay, on the Buffalo side is where I'm leaning here. Buffalo, where I see the advantage, okay. First off, you got the starting offensive lineman for Ohio out tonight, which I think is a big deal. Buffalo's 37th in the country yards per carry on defense, which is very underrated, okay, when Ohio is 79th in the country in passing. So here's where I lean Buffalo, and here's where I'm going with this. Okay, Ohio is top 20 in the country running the football with an offensive lineman out, and their starting tight end just got ruled out. How is that going to affect themselves? And as everybody knows, all right, you've got to score to beat Buffalo, or to beat Buffalo. It just, I mean, that's what you've got to do. Ohio's defense is 9th against the pass in the MAC, 9th in the MAC in pass defense. That is not a good recipe to pull an upset. I understand they're the favorite here. I think the wrong team is favored. I think Buffalo will grind this one out. I think this one might flash back a little bit to the Buffalo-Miami, Ohio game where it was like 100-90. I'm not sure. The over's sitting at 66. I don't have a play there. I can definitely see this one flying over. I think if Ohio finds a way to win this game, it stays under though. So I have no play there. But man, it's hard for me to go against the better team with points. I understand it's on the road, but let me just go on and say this. Buffalo is 5-0 against the spread on the road. I mean, it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Right? It's cold in Buffalo. It's cold in Ohio. I mean, it's cold. You know, what is a home field advantage when the kickoff temperature is 30 degrees in light rain? What's home field advantage there?
Yep. Yeah, and Buffalo, listen, they were the preseason MAC favorites, right? What are they, or rather, Miami was the preseason MAC favorites in this
Ohio.
conference?
Yeah.
Ohio. Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah,
That is correct.
And now they're 6-4. But you know, the interesting part about Ohio is when you look at them, 3 of their 4 losses, I think, have come by 4 points or fewer.
Points.
Yeah, so they could easily be 8-2 right now. And I think people they look at that 6-4 record and they go, well, Buffalo has been the darlings the last couple of weeks on these standalone games. You know, these Tuesday, Wednesday MAC action games. Everyone's going, oh, Buffalo, they're great, but you know, they're just a couple of plays away from being 8-2. So take that into consideration as well.
No, absolutely. I always say this, talking about the MAC, you kind of have to throw the record out the window to an aspect and trust your eyes. Because we talked about NIU last week. That was the play of the week. They were 6-3 going into that game, and their 3 losses were all against Power 5 teams earlier in the season. You know, Florida State, Iowa, off the top of my head there. You know, so those teams, Ohio's got a 4-point loss on the road to Cincinnati. We've seen how good Cincinnati can be.
Yes.
They've got a little over a touchdown, I guess, a 2-touchdown loss to Virginia. You know, the only game this year Ohio has not scored 27 points in was against NIU.
Nope.
That's the only game they haven't scored 27 points in all year. So there's a little nut. They can score the football. You know, they can move the ball. I'm just worried that they can't get a stop.
Yes.
And then in this game with no home field advantage, I still think every statistical aspect, Buffalo is a little bit better of a team offensively in the country, defensively, yards per play, yards per carry. Buffalo's a better team with the points. It's just hard for me to find justification. And trust me, I tried. I wanted to take Ohio. I'm telling you. I knew I looked every way to find a way to take Ohio, but I can't take them.
Couldn't do it, man. You couldn't pull the trigger. He is the captain at @captain_capping. Unbelievable role over the last couple of weeks. If you guys have been following this last month, then you are definitely way ahead of the ball game here. Great stuff. Great reasonable package prices too. Make sure you DM him at @captain_capping. He's available. It's one of the best Twitter follows around, guys. Great information, always stand-up guy. That's why he's on the show. That's why we bring him on, and that's why we appreciate his time here. I'm going to say this. You're going to take Buffalo and the 2.5 points, and I don't know that it'll get to 3 before kickoff, but 2.5, you're taking Buffalo. I think there's going to be a boatload of points scored in this game. I expect plenty of points with both sides. I think the over-under is 65 or 66. And I got news for you. I wouldn't at all be surprised of a 42, 38, 37 kind of game here. So I'm kind of leaning towards the over in this game as well.
I can't go against you there. Like I said, man, I said this game really reminds me of the Buffalo-Miami, Ohio game. That one finished 51-42.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you. I'm not, like I said, I'm not telling anybody to take the over, but I'd have a hard time taking the under.
Well, let's talk about this other crazy game tonight. Also, we had some luck with this. The NIU team last week when you picked them and rode them and rode them to victory there. But tonight they've got their hands full once again, don't they? The old NIU. What are they? NIU.
They're the Huskies.
They're the NIU Huskies. Yeah, that was Ball State last week, correct? I think they're bowl eligible now with that win, no?
They're 7-3. Yes,
yeah.
They are 7-3, 6-0 in the MAC, hammering MAC. And like I had said, man, their losses are Iowa and Florida State, and there's one other in there that slips my mind. I mean, all 3 losses have been good Power 5 teams. Ever since they got to the MAC, they're just hammering people.
Yeah, they are. Laying 7 tonight. Yep, laying 7 tonight. Over under 48.5. This is an 8 o'clock kickoff. And like you said, they locked up the MAC West for the first time in 3 years after 6 straight titles. Do you like them tonight against? Do you have a feeling one way or another against this Miami Ohio team?
Here's what I worry about. There's two things. As you know, I'm a big fan of defensive teams like this Northern Illinois team. But as you stated up front there, they have clinched their division, right? They're not making the power. They're not getting a big bowl game. Their big test is to be healthy for their championship game, right? That is what their season comes down to. Now, Miami, Ohio is playing well the last 2 weeks. They beat the Ohio team that we've been talking about that's so good last week in a must-win game for Ohio to keep their hopes alive. They took Buffalo to the edge. They were winning that game in the third quarter.
That's correct.
Could not get a stop on Buffalo, which is but every other team in the country has had the same problem. All right, that's a team that's hot right now. So I think, man, that's a tough one. I don't know. I wouldn't bet against Northern Illinois, who's been rolling in the MAC. They're 6-0, like I said, in the MAC. Like I said, Miami's 4-6, but what is 4-6 in the MAC? They're still fighting to get to a bowl game. They're 4-2 in the MAC, so I think this is two pretty good teams. I think this is actually an underrated matchup tonight. Like, I'm actually really looking forward in a weird way to watching this game. I think there's a couple really good factors here. I actually, if I were to lean away, would actually be the under in this one with that defense there. I think the defense is going to be cold. I think they're going to run it. Both teams are just going to run the snot out of this thing tonight, and that'd be my lean in this game. But I think this is going to be a great game. I think the line is very good. I think 7 is right around where this one should be, and I don't really see an edge in my opinion. But this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I kind of I'm going to go against you on this one here. I do like getting that key number of 7. We talk about it all the time, Captain. The 3 and 7, right? Those are the key numbers that we always look for as sports better. I like it at 7. I might not like it at 6.5, but if I can get the touchdown, I may take the points, and like you said, I think motivation here. Northern Illinois, great defense, not necessarily great on offense, but Miami, Ohio, it's not necessarily a strength of theirs either. But I do think Miami of Ohio, who is playing for bowl eligibility and keeping their season alive here, I think they got a lot more to play for. So I would take the points, and you know what? I'd actually even take the over at 47 because something tells me these two offenses are going to go at it, and we might be looking at somewhere along those lines of a 32-24 type of game, somewhere along those lines.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that worries me but looking into this game a little bit is Miami's offensive line. I talked about this last week. NIU rushes the passer better than anybody else in the MAC. It's not even close. They're top in the country. And Ragland, the quarterback for Heisman, sacked 16 times in the last 5 games.
Yep.
So that would be my main area. So if you can protect it, control the ball, like I said, they've got an All-American, Sutton Smith. He's got 4 forced fumbles. I mean, if they can protect the ball, they're going to be. I wouldn't mind taking the points in this one. How motivated is NIU to play this game?
That's the question. Yeah, that's the question to me. And also Miami, Ohio, one of the worst close win teams ever. If the game is close, chances are they have lost in the past, but they have kept them close. I think even what are they 6-20 straight up in one possession games, and they're 1-3 this year. So they did actually pull it off last week. I think they won 30-28 over their rival Ohio. But I like that 7. Right. That 7 number to me is a touchdown underdog. They don't have to win. They've just got to cover, and I would lean towards taking that 7 points. I think they've got a good chance at doing that. If you're just joining us, welcome in. He is the captain at captain_capping. He joins us each and every week. He is Mr. Mac Action. Nobody knows Mac football like the captain, and we suggest you head over to Twitter. What a great Twitter file. And the packages and your record, it's self-explanatory. You can get it there. Just scroll down. You'll see exactly what he's been able to do the last couple of months. He is riding quite the streak, doing well again last night, doing well this week, and certainly packages are available, correct?
Absolutely, man. And I'm telling you, for what you can get, 18-5 last week, 4-0 to start this week, 100-plus picks documented there at 65%. I mean, $30 a week. I mean, it is what it is. $100 a month. If you're looking for somewhere that can help you long-term win and kind of help you learn how to gamble for you new guys and learn how to bet. We had a long talk. If these guys want to go to my Twitter, I believe it's still my pinned tweet on there of just bankroll management. So that'll help you guys understand, and that comes with it. I DM my guys all day long. We talk on what to bet, how to bet, how's your bankroll, how to manage it. So it's a full course. It's not just random picks with no explanation. So everything's included. Everything's included there.
Yeah, which is why he is on this show. But definitely take a look at that video at the top of his page, at @Captain_capping on Twitter. Some great information about understanding units and bankroll and not betting above your means. So that bankroll, it could be a bankroll of $100. Doesn't have to be a bankroll of $10,000, but how to stay within yourself. Some great information on that video. Guys, head over to @Captain_capping. He is the captain. We call him the captain for a reason. The man knows Mac like nobody's business, I'll tell you. But I got to ask you this before I let you go, Captain, all right? You're a Tennessee guy. Man. You're a Tennessee guy. So are the Titans for real here, brother? Are you starting to believe in the Tennessee Titans, this Jekyll and Hyde? I mean, is Mariota finally healthy enough that the AFC should be seriously looking at the Tennessee Titans as a competitor here?
Well, I think you asked me that at a good time coming off the Patriots game, because the Titans struggle in Indianapolis. That's where they go this weekend. Over the years, this will be one heck of a test for them to really tell new coach, new offensive coordinator. Man, I don't believe in them yet. If they beat Indy, we'll revisit this conversation next Wednesday. How about that?
That's what I'm talking about. See, realism, being realistic, being authentic. He loves his Tennessee teams, but you know what? He's being honest about it, and he has some perspective, which is fantastic. You don't get that often. But you guys definitely head over to @Captain_capping. Head over there. Great Twitter follow. Package is certainly reasonable enough. He likes tonight. Take Buffalo. I can't believe this. Buffalo getting 2.5 points right now, I believe, at UWager and a few other books. So jump on it. He likes them. And then if you had to make a bet on the NIU game, if you want to keep it interesting, I think we both agree that maybe Miami of Ohio getting 7 points can keep it close enough. Maybe that's the way we lean.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said, my only definitive there would be Buffalo. I'm looking forward to watching that NIU game, though, for sure. And then I'm pulling for you guys that are taking the points. Yep,
that's it. We'll take the points and we'll run. All right, he is the captain. As always, my friend, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you again next week. Make sure you guys head over to @Captain_capping. Captain, we love you, brother. Have a good week.
All right, thanks, Joe. I can't wait to talk again soon, man.
You got it. All right, next Wednesday it is. Make sure you guys visit him @Captain_capping. Another one of the truly genuine good guys in this business. And those of you bettors that watch us and join us here on the Joe Raineri Show, we only bring you the guys that we would honestly spend our own money with and that we trust. We vet these guys. We talk to these guys, and their history and their records speak for themselves. And ultimately, that's why we want them to be a part of this show, and that's why we go out of our way to affiliate ourselves with these guys, because these are the best that Twitter gambling, #gambling Twitter has to offer. We all know everyone is a genius on Twitter when it comes to being a handicapper. Everyone is the smartest guy on Twitter. Well, not everyone can be that smart. And what we look for here are genuine, transparent cappers who have no problem posting their losses as much as they have their wins, and they talk about their losses just as much as they talk about their wins. And that is why the lineup of guys that we have brought on this show and we continue to bring on this show are just second to none. For instance, again, I believe, what do we got now? Tomorrow, let's take the list. Tomorrow, Ralph Michaels, wagertalk.com. He'll be joining us. Ralph joins us every Thursday. We do our NCAA, college football, and NFL rundown. We talk about not only the Thursday night games, both in college and the NFL, but the games that Ralph really, really likes, both Saturday and Sunday. Those of you that have been following along every Thursday, I hear from you, And quite honestly, what you guys, how much money you guys have been making listening to him and I go at it it's refreshing, and I'm glad that you guys are profiting and that you are up, because that is what it is all about. And then Friday, we're looking so forward to Friday, because every time we get a chance to talk to this man, it's not every day do you have a Hall of Famer, a legend, that you get an opportunity to pick his brain and to listen to him. But Mark Lawrence from Playbook.com is going to be joining us. Mark Lawrence, for those of you that don't know, this is the guy that started a lot of these sports services. This is the guy that was there in the beginning, created the very first sports handicapping newsletter. This is a guy that gave guys like Ralph Michaels and everybody else their start in this business. He is a legend when I tell you, and he will be joining us on Friday, and some great stuff. Wait until you hear Mark Lawrence talk. One of the best analytical sports handicappers the game has ever seen. That is who you will have on the show, and those are the kinds of guys that you will always have on the Joe Raineri Show, and we are proud of that, and we pride ourselves on it. You guys, if you're just joining us, you had an opportunity to meet Jason from SportsPick365.com a little bit earlier. The trio of guys there, Jason, Eric, Ed, those guys, the best. When I tell you, genuine quality dudes who have no problem being transparent, and I showed you some of the stats a little bit earlier, but this is the kind of stuff you will see at SportsPick365.com. These are guys that do not hide behind any of their stuff. These are guys that actually go out of their way to make sure that that you understand who they are and what they bring to the table. For instance, this is the kind of thing that you'll see at SportsPick365.com. They cover Major League Baseball, soccer, NBA, NHL, NFL, NCAA football, NCAA basketball, and you know what? They post their wins, they post their losses, the year-to-dates. Everything is documented. They don't hide behind anything. And those of you that enjoy soccer, or those of you that are interested in maybe playing a little action on soccer, who better than these guys? I mean, look at the record here. It speaks for itself. Look at the amount of volume that they have done. Also, look at this graph, which I think is also very important. Their profit trend from what they've been able to do from January until now. These are the kinds of things that you want to look for when you're looking for a service to be able to help you and make the decisions for you. And ultimately, you guys know this. I tell you this all the time, okay? These guys do all the legwork for you, and that's really what it's all about. They do it so you can actually have a life and have a job. You guys, you know, if you're not a professional bettor, if you are somebody that, you know, you like betting on the weekends and, you know, you like throwing a couple of $100 aside each week to bet on some games, you don't have 30 hours a week, 40 hours a week to invest in trying to scout out these games and to do the work. That's what these services are all about. And the whole reason we're doing this is because we want to introduce you to who the cream of the crop is, who the better ones are, because everybody claims to be the best and the greatest. But I can promise you, I have said no to more people than I have said yes to come on to this show. Why? Because I have no interest in dealing with people who hide behind a Twitter name or a website, and I have no idea who they are. They just hide behind there, and they throw out a bunch of stats and think that's going to work it out. Not going to be it. The guys that you see on this show, the guys that we vouch for here, are the guys that you're going to want to do business with. And try them all out. Go to SportsPick365.com. Check out Jason, Ed, check them out. You guys, I'm telling you, they are some quality dudes with some transparent numbers, and they don't lie to you. They are not trying to rip you off. They want you to invest with them, and they want you to be a customer for the long run. That is what it is all about. And if you're just joining us, Jason is on his way to the Marquette, Indiana game tonight, but they got two fire college basketball plays tonight that they were all over, and he joined us a little bit earlier in the show. These are his picks. Michigan Villanova, you got the rematch of all rematches, the national championship game last year. That's going to take place tonight. and I do believe that's the 6:30 game, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the early game. Michigan-Villanova, they love Villanova. Jason loves Villanova, -7, lay the points. And then, of course, Marquette-Indiana. In Indiana, folks, okay? That is Assembly Hall, Bloomington, Indiana, is going to be rocking tonight, mostly because Jason from Sports Pick 365 is going to be in the audience. But they are ready. And, listen, Marquette, nobody's sleeping on Marquette, but Indiana might just be way too much for Marquette at this point in the season, this early in the season. I do believe they said go ahead and buy the hook. -5 is where they're at. That's what they're playing over at Sports Picks. SportsPick365.com. They're buying the hook. -5, Indiana is definitely the play there. That was from Jason earlier in the show. And if you missed any of that interview, you want to get to know Jason and the fine folks over at SportsPicks365.com. As soon as we're done here, you guys know the routine. We will also post via Twitch and Twitter and Periscope. We'll have it in case you missed it. So we'll replay the interviews for you guys in case you missed it. You'll always be able to get them here on our Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Periscope feeds. You have all of these interviews. Spend some time getting to know these guys. You don't want to take my word for it. You can hear from them yourselves. That's what this is all about. And, of course, the captain, we just talked to him at Captain_Capping on Twitter. Make sure you guys take a look at that Twitter follow. Awesome stuff there. And he's looking at Buffalo tonight. +2.5, MAC action football, +2.5 against Ohio. That is going to be some fun games. We're looking forward to a little MAC action football here tonight. So I do have a couple of bonus plays for you I'm going to throw out to you. And you guys can either take this or you can leave it. But these are a couple of plays that I looked at, that I searched at, that I'm going to throw your way just in case. One of the games, college basketball here tonight, I'm looking at the Michigan State Spartans laying 25.5. What did you say? 25.5, and I don't care. They're playing University of Louisiana Monroe. Nothing against the University of Louisiana Monroe, who just kept it close against Texas. Even though they shot a miserable, Texas shot a miserable 26 of 62. They were only 42% from the field. But the Warhawks are going to be, it's all about class, all right? And what I mean by that in horse racing, those of you guys that like the ponies, it's all about class. You've got these horses that, sometimes race above the class that they should be. And, yeah, that's what's happening tonight with University of Louisiana Monroe. They are way out of their class. A lot of people might be tempted to take them because of the 25.5 points. But, yeah, since they only lost by 10, I think, against Texas last week. They were a 19-point dog at Texas last week, and they only lost by 10. So they ended up covering. But no disrespect to the Texas Longhorns, but they are not in the same class as Tom Izzo and the Michigan State Spartans. So Izzo lost to Kansas in the opener, but Michigan State ended up crushing, I believe, Florida Gulf Coast, 106-82. Is that the number there? Yeah, 106-82. Ended up destroying them. They were a 22.5-point favorite in that game. Had no problem covering them there. And it probably could have been a whole lot worse if the Spartans wanted it to be. They had a 59-35 edge at half before Tom Izzo started playing people in Section 305 to come down and play in that game. It could have been really, really, really ugly. I can assure you that the Warhawks at the University of Louisiana Monroe will not be keeping this game within 10 points. They'll be lucky to put 55 on the board. I think Michigan State's offense is going to be just way too much. Izzo's got these guys ramped up, ready to go. Not to mention the Spartans, 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 home games after playing their previous game against a non-conference opponent, and they're 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 at home, off a win by 15 or more. Told you what they did to Florida Gulf Coast. That's where they're at. And, oh, yeah, the Warhawks, if you guys love trends, 0-6 against the spread off their last 6 off a road cover where the team lost straight up as a dog. Take Michigan State. all fingers point there. I don't care that it's 25.5. They're going to win by 40. It's going to be that kind of game there. Big shout out to our folks over on in the chat rooms that joined us here today. Peter K joining us in the Facebook chat room. We love you, Peter. Thank you very much for stopping by. Jumaya hanging out with us here on Twitter. Always a pleasure to see you. Hesil is a lunatic, big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He has no problem with Le'Veon Bell not signing. As a matter of fact, he is all about James Conner. I think he has burned his Le'Veon Bell jersey. He's gone out and bought himself a James Conner jersey. All is well in Pittsburgh. Bye-bye, Le'Veon Bell. Also, big problem there today as Le'Veon Bell had till 4 o'clock today to report in order to be able to claim some of that $14.5 million franchise tag contract. The fact that he didn't report means he loses the entire $14.5 million. However, he does become eligible, and he is a free agent now next year. So if there is a team out there willing to sign him to a 3-year deal and guarantee him a whole boatload of money, they can do that. There is some rumors that he might actually stay in Pittsburgh. Don't know that that's going to happen. I do think there are going to be some other teams that are going to throw some money at him. So let the bidding begin. And I give credit to Le'Veon Bell for having the cojones, the croquetas, to be able to go, you know what? Screw you. Stop franchise tagging me, guaranteeing me money long term. That's what these guys want. They don't want to be Des Bryant, where they come in and then they pull an Achilles in a final year of a contract with absolutely no money guaranteed. Why would you do that? So Le'Veon Bell stuck up not only for himself, but he stuck up for the running back position for the future in the NFL. So these guys coming up, the Todd Gurleys and the Melvin Gordons and the Nick Chubbs of the world, all these guys that are still on very cheap rookie deals, there's going to come a time when the choice is going to be, what do you want to do here, guys? Do you want to lock me up and guarantee me my money? Or do you want to keep playing around and just, franchise tag me here, franchise tag me there, and use me, abuse me until I'm no good anymore, and then, oh, yeah, by the way, I've got no guaranteed money. And that's what Le'Veon Bell did. He took a stance for the running back position for all of the guys on rookie deals right now and the guys in college and all future running backs. So kudos to Le'Veon Bell. It worked out for him. He's not interested in the $14.5 million. It may seem like a lot of money to you and me, but in the long run, if he can guarantee himself maybe sign for a $40, $45 million deal next year with the team over the next 3 to 4 years, he's going to go ahead and do it. He's going to win in the long run, because if he would have stepped on the field this year and ended up getting hurt, what the hell would have happened then? So this is all about leverage. It is a business at the end of the day. It's all about leverage. And right now, Le'Veon Bell's got the leverage. He thumbed his, he stuck his nose up to $14.5 million, told the Steelers, basically, you can kiss my ass without a guaranteed deal. And I'm proud of him. I tell you right now, I am proud of him. Thomas joining us. Always look at you, Tommy Cummings. Good Christ, in the Tampa Bay area, swinging out, joining us on Facebook. Always a pleasure to see you, Tommy. Hope all is well, my friend. Sue joining us. Nice to see you. Christy Taylor hanging out in the Facebook chat room. Always a pleasure to see you guys. But yeah, let's face it. Le'Veon Bell also got his locker room completely raided here today. You guys will see that it looks like once he didn't show up at 4 o'clock, everybody and their mother went in there and started taking everything that that wasn't nailed down. Apparently he had a whole lot of, let me see what it was. He had a bunch of Jordans in there, a bunch of cleats, and the NFL players, they're just like us. They're grinding away paycheck to paycheck. So if they've got an opportunity to vulture the desk next to them, how many of you have ever worked with somebody, right, who ended up getting shit canned or didn't come back, but man, they had a really cool stapler or they had some really cool things on their desk. You didn't mind helping themselves too. So that's pretty much what happened here. All of these guys in the locker room. Who am I looking at? Bud Dupree, the linebacker, ended up taking his cleats, ripped him out of his cleats there, and they were taking everything that wasn't nailed down, really. So they pillaged the Le'Veon Bell locker in the locker room once he didn't show up at 4 o'clock today. So congratulations, guys. I mean, way to go. Christy Taylor, yes. Hey, go Chiefs. I am sure, Christy Taylor, that you will agree, as will everybody, that the NFL finally made a smart decision in moving that game out of Mexico City back to L.A. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wanted to see that game in Mexico City on that field. And there's a report out today, and you guys are going to love this. There's actually a report out today that says the NFL knew this field was total shit over the last couple of weeks. Now, apparently there was a Shakira concert. Is that what it was? Yeah, there was a Shakira concert that was there a couple of weeks ago, and they had a pyrotechnics show, and that was, and I don't know, do we still have the picture of the field here? I don't know if we do. I don't think we do, but the field was destroyed. They set the whole goddamn field on fire with all the pyrotechnics, and it was just destroyed. It wasn't a great field anyway for a football game, and the NFL knew weeks ago that this field was not going to be in the best of shape. And we talked about it yesterday. Am I correct? You want to send the Browns there, or you want to send the Raiders or the Dolphins or the Jacksonville Jaguars to play on that shit field, be my guest. Nobody cares. Have a good time. Send the Jets, send the Bills. Have a good time doing it. But do not send us, as football fans, do not give us the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, okay, and Jared Goff and the Los Angeles Rams. Don't send the two best damn teams in both conferences to play on that crap, all right? Don't do it. Please don't do it. Send them, give them the Raiders. Let them screw with the Raiders. That'll be fine there. So, Christy Taylor, big Jayhawks fan. Also a big Kansas City Chiefs fan, and we want to thank you, Christy, for hanging out with us here on Facebook like she does, popping in, and all of you across all of the streaming platforms that hang out in the chat rooms during the show. We love you. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much for coming by. I do have one other game, too, that was sent to me that we'll go ahead and pass along. I told you Michigan State laying 25.5 tonight against University of Louisiana Monroe, the Warhawks. Lay the 25 points. The other game in the NBA I'm going to give you is New Orleans taking on Minnesota. Right? That was great, Christy. It's good to see you. New Orleans taking on Minnesota tonight, I believe, 8 o'clock. 8:05 is the kickoff. The New Orleans Pelicans are getting a point here, if you can believe that. The unibrow is getting a point. Now, the Pelicans have won 3 straight, and which is good because prior to that, they were on a 5-game road losing streak. But they did stop that on Monday night and pissed off a lot of people when they went to Toronto and took care of business there, 126-110 Monday night. They smacked Toronto, and I can't tell you the amount of people that were all over Toronto Monday night, and they figured Kawhi Leonard. They know that the New Orleans Pelicans were on a terrible streak, totally different team on the road than they are at home. And everybody and their mother laid the points and took Toronto. And here comes the Pelicans money line and just wipes the floor with the Raptors, 126-110. So now here they find themselves on the road in Minnesota tonight. And they're laying a point now, is it? Is that what you're telling me? They're laying a point. They're -1 now on the road against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Listen, the Pelicans 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 following a straight-up win of more than 10 points. Which is what they did. They're 12-2 against the spread in their last 14 when they face a team with a losing straight-up record, which the Minnesota Timberwolves have. And they'll be, I think, 5-9. Is that what the Timberwolves are? The Timberwolves are 5-9. So, yeah, so they're 12-2 against the spread in the last 14 when they're facing a team with a losing record like this. Minnesota coming home. They are 0-5 on their latest road trip. They did beat Brooklyn. I think, 120-113, but that was at home here. This is a much bigger step up in competition. Minnesota's D is just not good enough to keep up with one of the highest scoring offenses in the NBA right now, that being the New Orleans Pelicans. That defense is no match. I'm sorry. Yes, you got rid of Jimmy Butler and all of that. They're still trying to figure it out. I do think Minnesota is going to be a pretty good team down the road this season, but tonight I will lay the point, and I will take the brow. I'll take the New Orleans Pelicans all day long. -1. Take it to the bank. I'm taking New Orleans. All right? How's that? You guys like that? Or you feel like we're going to make some money? Also, once again, if you're just joining us, Jason, SportsPick365.com. He's got you on Villanova -7. And also, by the hook tonight, Indiana -5 against Marquette at home. Assembly Hall is going to be a rockin'. That is correct. He's also going to be at the game. Make sure that you guys head over to SportsPick365.com. All right, make sure you guys check that out. Love those guys, Ed, Jason, Eric, quality dudes, and I want to thank them so very much for coming on the show today and sharing their knowledge. And of course, the captain at Captain_capping. He's got big Buffalo tonight, man. Can't figure out the line. MAC action football. Buffalo taking on Ohio. Buffalo getting 2.5 points. Take the 2.5 points all day long, he says. He likes Buffalo. I might actually dabble a little bit on that money line for that Buffalo game. I kind of like Buffalo tonight. I might throw a couple of shekels, a couple of fazools on the money line for Buffalo. I like living crazy like that, so that's just who I am. But that's what you had today. I want to thank, of course, the captain for coming on and hanging out with us. Also want to remind you guys, if you haven't done so already, your support, can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys each and every day. And how it works here on the streaming platforms, and we are Twitch, we are Twitter, we are Facebook, we are Periscope, we are YouTube. We are there all the time. Every Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock, we come to you. Subscribe if you could, retweet if you could, like us, follow us, comment. The more you engage with us here on these social media platforms, the better chance we have of actually growing this. That is how it works on all of these platforms. Otherwise, you got to spend $17 trillion to hopefully get your page or get your channel posted anywhere on these. So your support simply by going ahead and liking us and retweeting us and subscribing to us and engaging with us. Leave us some comments. We always want to hear from you guys. That's something we pride ourselves on here, is we want feedback. Engage with us. We're here for you. So if you could do that on any of these posts, we'd certainly appreciate it. That's how we can show that we are growing and that we are constantly in touch with you guys, and we always want to hear from you. So thank you very much for making us a part of your day. We are loaded again tomorrow. Don't forget, Thursday's a big day here on the show. Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com. We'll be talking NCAA and NFL football tomorrow, and then the legend Mark Lawrence on Friday, Playbook.com, the guy that started all the handicapping services many years ago. He'll be joining us. He is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, analytical sports handicapper there is. You can't be doing something for 40-plus years if you don't know what the hell you're doing. This is the guy responsible that paved the way so guys like Jason and SportsPick365 and the captain and Ralph Michaels and thousands of others, he is the reason why they can have a career as a professional sports handicapper. It started with Mark Lawrence, and he's going to join us on the show Friday. So we are loaded once again. And if you missed any of the interview with Jason or the captain, you guys will have it. It's available for you right after this show. Want to say thanks again to Peter, Hesil, Mr. Skunt, Mr. Dracula on Twitch, Terry, Matthew, Tony, Trayvon. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with us each and every day. We love you. Enjoy the games tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow with Ralph Michaels, trying to make you some more money. If not, helping educate you a little bit more, make you a better sports better in the long run. So, guys, have a great night. Thanks again for making us a part of your day. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Enjoy the games tonight. Good luck.